and welcome to the show. Listen, if you were born in the 90s, there is a 99% chance you had Tiffany Evans playing on your iPod. Yes, I said iPod. And if you weren't born in the 90s, you probably still know her voice and certainly recognize her work. Tiffany Evans won Star Search when she was just 10 years old. Her hit single, Promise Ring, featuring Sierra, peaked in the top 100 on several Billboard charts. She landed her starring role in Tyler Perry's Diary of a Mad Black Woman. At a kid, all these amazing gifts as a kid, but listen, she's good and grown now, says she has a lot more work to do when it comes to R&B music. Welcome to the show, Tiffany.
Thank you so much for having me.
It is an honor to have you here.
Happy to be here.
It is great, and I can't wait to talk to you about music and life and parenting and all the things. But I got to start with this new single.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us, you are back and loving R&B.
Oh, loving R&B better than ever. And I'm really grateful. I can say I'm really grateful. I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
I started as a kid.
Yeah.
I am a woman now, and longevity is a really, really amazing thing. If you can last, that's amazing.
Right.
And so we're here today. I recently dropped my new single. It's called Would You? And it's been receiving so much love. And I'm so excited for where we're taking everything. It's just going to be big.
It is. It's going to be big, but it's already big. You sound good.
Thank you.
You look great.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the decision to step back and then when you know it's time to step back into the spotlight.
Ooh, well, for me, it came around the time I was 18. Actually, you know what? 17, 18.
Okay.
And I had been signed to Columbia Records for a good amount of time.
Yeah.
Ran through different management. Couldn't really find anyone that, in my opinion, to understand the vision and where I want it to be.
I understand.
Where I want it to go.
Yeah. And what a big set of decisions to have to make, even at 17. I mean, most 17-year-olds are still just trying to find their own voice, find their own vision. You're trying to find somebody who aligns with your vision as an entertainer.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Well, it is a lot because, when I was 9, 10 years old, I became the primary source of income for my family. So it was it wasn't just about, hey, I love music and I want to sing and I want to be in front of the world and be famous. It was, I have to take care of my family.
So let me ask you this, because we look at these beautiful pictures of you with your family. Was it expressed that way, or was it just sort of a given? Like, you're 9, but you are the breadwinner. Like, who puts it in those terms, or do you recognize this is what's happening?
Well, at first, I was not able to process everything that was happening around me. I'm just a kid, and even when you think you know, you really don't know. But as I got older, the more I started to travel and experience more, sometimes I had to travel on my own. I didn't really have the average lifestyle of a child.
Yeah, of course.
So in order to protect my voice, I really didn't get to go outside and play a lot because, you're screaming too much. You might fall and bump your head.
You might get hurt.
You might get hurt, and then you have a show in 2 weeks. And how can we do that if you're injured? And so a lot of the times I spent a lot of time in my room. I would come home, practice music on my computer, just writing down goals and visions.
Right. I didn't even think about it from the standpoint of you can't even go out and play because you might get hurt.
Yes, absolutely. And so I'm like, okay, I'm different.
Yeah.
But not really still processing it because it's just like I know what I want as a kid, but I just couldn't do it.
So may I ask, at 17, when you say, or 18, that it's time to pull back, what was the reaction like from those around you?
Well, I was still signed to Columbia at the time. And
Did people get it? Or were they like, no, you're just about to break through.
Well,
what are you?
I think that everyone who was a part of my journey from the beginning, I believe that they were exhausted. Just as exhausted as I was. The good people.
Understood.
The good people.
Yeah.
And I wanted to experience this business for myself. So I thought, asking for a release from the label would be the best thing for me.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? people might look at me and say, hey, you know, she's getting dropped, or she didn't make it and that's why she's giving up. But that wasn't the case for me. I thought it would be better to learn for myself, you know, rather than being signed and still having people in control and, you know, not really being able to make decisions because people don't trust you. So I said, you know what, I got to get some weight under my belt.
So independent artist now,
Yes, ma'am.
The lessons learned. I understand it can be harder, but I can understand that it's also, there's a lot more freedom.
Absolutely. Freedom in creativity, the type of narrative that you want to put out there of yourself, but it's also difficult. Yeah. It is very difficult.
And how are you adjusting? What's that look like for you?
Financially, honey, you got to have some bread. They call it bread. You got to have some bread. And then also just, I think the ego, sometimes you have to master your ego, because if you're signed, sometimes people, they look at it like, oh, you're signed.
Right.
Ooh, you're official.
Like the certification. You're in good shape. But if you're not, it's like, oh, what's wrong? How come nobody has signed you yet? Type of situation.
Exactly. And I've been doing this all of my life. So, and I've accomplished so much. So now that I'm not signed, it's like, okay, does my value go down? You know? Yeah. So I had to kind of trick myself into knowing that this is what you decided for yourself and you wanted to learn. Right. And you did.
And you're learning. And let's be very clear, it's not like you just went completely silent.
Oh, no.
You did have a couple of beautiful children in that time away from the studio, right? So when we come back, we're going to talk about life as a mom, Tiffany as the performer who's balancing motherhood. Stay with us. The conversation continues right after the break. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I really want to thank you for season 3 of Portia. It's because of loyal viewers like you that we keep getting to share this daily dose of positivity all across the country. So just a reminder, I still need you to like, comment, and subscribe. And go ahead and tell your friends. You can catch us now in Orlando, in San Francisco, in Atlanta, and all across the country on Fox Soul. Tell your friends. We'll see you soon on Portia.